Before I go on a commercial break, I'll be having a short discussion with an author. He wrote a book on a critical subject. Yes, it's a very important subject for this generation, and I'm happy that we have the opportunity to discuss it today. The title of the book is How to Become a Better Father. He says your fathering skills don't automatically tag along with the Y chromosome your dad gave you. Okay. So he's a believer, he's a child of God, and he's here today to discuss with us. I'm sure that we're going to have another time again when he's going to come. Probably what I'll be doing is after this segment, I'm going to connect him with Tolu so that Tolu is going to do a great job of reviewing the book and then come and engage you subsequently so that we have more time for it. Okay.
No problem.
Today I have with me Peter Amao. Peter Amao is the author of How to Become a Better Father.
Yeah.
Welcome to the studio.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here.
And sorry I kept you waiting for a while.
No problem at all.
The way Gospel Cruise runs is we just open ourselves up to God and we allow it to run so that the way the Holy Spirit directs, and at the end of the day, all of us are blessed for it.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So okay.
What influenced, what motivated you to write this book on fathering?
Okay, about 3 different events actually motivated me writing this book. It all started during the lockdown, during the coronavirus lockdown. And I was going through a session with one of my coaches, MOB, and it was about men, resolution for men. And in the course of it, a lot of revelations came in, especially about fathers, especially about men, struggles that men are going through and nobody is there to attend to them, and what the society still expects of them, what their family expects of them, and that they can't help it as regards what they are pouring into their children. They can't help it as regards what they are becoming and they don't want to become. That was one instance, that was one experience. The other experience was I sat down during that coronavirus and I said, okay, how do I improve my own family? How do I add value to my family? After everything, when I think about my family, what's going to come to my mind? And that's when I started creating memories. And I was working on a particular strategy, and then I was implementing it. And lo and behold, within 30 days, my wife and I, we had a different view of ourselves. Our relationship got better, and I was like, wow. I shared it at the men's session, and it was powerful. People took advantage of it and said, oh, they're going to do the same. I won't say exactly what it is, but chapter 3 talks briefly about it, creating memories. There should be something you think about when your family rings in your head. There's something to lavish on when you're alone and you're thinking about your wife and you're thinking about your kids. There should be something that pops up in your mind that you want to just spoil yourself with. And that was what I was doing. I was creating, nice words, using the skills I have, I use at my place of work normally. I was pouring it into doing something and investing in my family. And I did that for 30 days. And it was awesome at the end of the day. That was the second thing. The third thing was, once the lockdown, was eased off, we had these breakouts, rape breakout.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of reactions in terms of approach on how to deal with the rape scandal and the rape breakout. And more of it was about the girl or the girl child or the female gender, and what was happening for the male gender was about punishment, was about castration, was about judgment and the rest of it. But what about where it first went wrong for man? What about where it first went wrong for fathers? They also have needs that they can't probably share, that they need answers to. They don't know who to go and meet. And as the way man is designed, many times they want to solve the problems on their own. So those were the 3 things that prompted me to write this book. And let's start a conversation. Let men begin to gather together and begin to share from their lessons, their pains, their failures, so that others can learn and not repeat the same mistakes. Let's also let it begin to be drawn into men's conscience that, look, your role is as important as the mother's role. Yeah. And with that, the narration or narrative will change over time. So those were the three things that prompted me to write this book. That we need to start a discussion. We need to start a conversation. Men need to begin to meet together. Fathers need to begin to meet together to change.
Now, Peter, when you talked about the 30-day activity,
Yes.
Do you have details of those activities
In
this book?
In chapter 3, you have some of them.
Okay.
And that's why the book is also practical. You have practical things you could do with your children. You have practical things you could do with your children and your wife. You have practical things you could do with just your wife. And it's about consistency. It's not about once you do it, voila, it will just change. It's about...
It's not a magic wand.
No, it's not a magic wand. It's about being consistent, because even doing it initially will look strange to you and your wife. It's like, what's wrong with this guy? Let's see what he will do. Let's see what will happen. It's about the wife watching first and seeing if the guy really means what he's saying, what he's doing, and the wife's going to want, like a particular one that happened. The lady, the wife was like, hey, what are you people doing on that group? Or, the question, what are you people doing there? And it was like, whatever you are doing, please just keep doing it, because she noticed a change
in the man.
And not just in the man, even in the children. So, it was like the husband probably never cooked for the wife before. By the virtue of that, session, the husband cooked, not only cooked for the wife, fed the wife, while the children, for the male, they fed their sister. So it was like, what was going on?
Feeding competition. like I saw them.
Yeah. And at a point, we actually brought her on air at the forum to express she was, just full of gratitude, like what has happened to her husband is awesome.
Okay, so the point is, some of the activities are in chapter 3 of the book.
Yeah, in chapter 3
but
of the book.
It's not a magic wand.
No, it's not a magic wand.
You must be consistent at it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, because now I'm just going to say this by way of suggestion now. Maybe you should consider in the near future coming up with a work plan for this 30-day activity that you could share with share with people, and then they tick off something like a chart. Because I'm
like a guide.
I'm interested actually. Yes, I'm interested. Maybe we can run this.
My wife is actually listening, so I know she'll be laughing.
Yes, okay, fine. She was your laboratory rat. Madam, well done. Eku Roju. They turned out well. Now, okay, looking at chapter 1 rather.
Yeah.
You wrote about 5 types of fathers.
Yes.
Now, and then I can see performance of formula fathers.
Yes.
That sounds like baby formula. Absentee or distant fathers.
Yes.
Passive fathers, authoritarian, disciplinarian or strict fathers.
Yeah.
And then faithful, resolved, committed or role model fathers.
Yeah.
Would you want to speak to, in 1 minute, the performance of formula fathers?
Yeah, the performance.
Because that one sounds like performance coach and all that.
No,
I get it.
Yes.
Just me kidding.
Okay, so the performance father, first of all, is also like a father who wanted to achieve something in life and who wasn't able to achieve it for one reason or the other. And so decides that his child is going to achieve that thing. So he begins to groom the child, put pressure on the child to go in the direction that he wants, not in the direction and strength of the child. So he begins to monitor, he begins to detect. For example, like when we were to decide if we're going to be science, commercial, our parents asked us. But in the case of a performance father, he's going to decide, this is where you are going. This is who you will become. This is what you must come out with. In Asian countries, it's even worse. They manage the scores of a party. If it's going to be best mathematician, they will manage the scores. They will set the questions themselves. They will tell the child, this is, you mustn't score lower than this. You must score. You must be within. And when they miss it, there is also consequence for it. So the child doesn't really develop, because at the end of the day, what the father succeeded in is his own failure. He has is what he wasn't able to achieve.
The child will grow in the shadow of the expectations of the father.
Yes, and such children later on, when they stumble on some revelations, they become really rebellious. Because it's like, I remember, I won't say, but a particular thought leader here, someone said that everywhere he goes, the next thing they ask him is that, are you the son of this person? And the guy is like, are you saying me on my own? I can't command authority.
No.
Yes, I can't command attention. It was like that, though immediately it was taken out of public, but it can be those are instances of way performance for that. It's all about the father. It's all about
them.
The children walking in the shadow of the father.
Okay, this is now interesting for me. Okay, so before I let you go, like I said, you're going to come back.
Okay.
And I can assure you of that next week you're going to come.
Okay.
Because I'm going to send the ebook to Tolu.
Okay.
Tolu is going to. I'll just leave you guys. I'll give you guys like 20 minutes next week.
Okay, no
so
problem.
that you take good time to engage. Now, before I let you go, what do you think is wrong with fathering in this age?
Well, it's not in this age that fathering went wrong. It's not. It's about how the society immediately took advantage of the way work was structured back then. This is what I'm saying. The industrial age started with the fact that fathers and grandfathers, uncles had to go to the factory to work. The mothers stayed back at home, and then they were the only ones to take care of everything. The father comes back, eats, and probably goes to sleep or watch TV, and then goes to sleep. And then that has grown, has been modified, and continuously everything keeps tilting towards the mother and the child. And over time, it has become the standard. It has become what works. But the reality is that the father plays an equal role in the family. So what went wrong was the father. The fathers even themselves decided to take it as part of the pack. And rather than being at the forefront, just followed. Just
to the mother.
Yeah, and then they just tagged along and neglected their responsibilities to the mother. And that's why in some cases the mothers will shoulder everything. The mothers become and when the children are grown, it is the mother that the children are appreciating. And they are the ones they will take abroad. They are the ones they will buy car for. They are the ones they will sing songs for. And then the father will be wondering, but I'm part of the process.
That's why there's not even a song for fathers. There's
hardly, each time I hear songs for mothers, it's not like I feel, but I'm like, so what happened to fathers?
We are coming.
So that's actually what happened. And that's why we need to begin to change the narration.
Now, is this book just an ebook?
For now, it's on ebook.
Okay.
And it's, you can get it on my website.
Okay.
And the hard copy will come out much later.
What's your website address?
That's peteramo.com/betterfather.
Peter
Amo.
Amo. You spell the Amo.
So that is AMOO.com/betterfather.
Okay. So Peter, www.peteramo.com/betterfather.
Yeah.
So that's where you can download the book. Now, I want you guys to go download. I know that now listeners of Gospel Cruise are very studious. They are Berean Christians. They like to read and interrogate whatever they have heard. www.peteramo.com/betterfather is the website where you're going to download the book from. Because next Sunday, Tolu Lokwe and Peter would be here to discuss the book in deeper details. Would you give out your number? Are you comfortable with that?
No problem at all.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, my number is 08077943968.
Now do it like a father. That was a performance father. You did it like a performance father.
Why are you sagging?
No, that was a performance father.
Okay.
Do it like that fifth category.
Okay.
Committed. Committed father.
All right. That's 08077943968.
Peter, thank you for coming on the program today. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.
I'll take a commercial break. When I come back, I'll speak to you about the forthcoming